This is Mongolian Mindset, and today me and PC are going to be typing Daniel Radcliffe. Um, he is the star of Harry Potter. So we're gonna be looking at his personality type, guys. We use Linda Berens interaction styles and temperament combined with cognitive functions. We have a breakdown of all of these online. Just search how to find anyone's personality type or just the cognitive functions in our playlist, and you'll get to those. But if you want more hands-on experience that you can't get nowhere else, you want to join the Discord. And if you want somebody for us to type, you also want to join Discord to recommend that. I'm not playing with this fucking. I told PC I'm not playing. If I don't get 30 likes on this fucking video, we're gonna do a comprehensive a month breakdown of fucking OJ Simpson. And I mean literally we're gonna be watching interviews and reacting to the fucking people in OJ Simpson. I'm not even playing. If I don't get 30 fucking likes, y'all gonna know more about OJ Simpson than you know about your fucking mother. I promise you that. Okay, so don't make me and PC go through it, but don't make PC go through it because I already threatened PC with it as well. So y'all better fucking make sure you guys don't make us go through it because I promise you this will become an OJ Simpson channel for the fucking next fucking month. I am not playing if I don't get 30 fucking likes and some fucking comments. This will be an OJ Simpson channel because we will break down everything about OJ. You will know what he was thinking when they said the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Okay, Johnny Cochran, not Ben Shapiro, whatever the guy named Shapiro. You will know about Marcia and Simpson, whatever her name is, the guy who got killed, stabbed, all of them. You will know everything. Okay, you will know so much that you might even become an attorney. But PC, what do you think about Daniel Radcliffe before we get into this? I know every idiot in there doesn't know what fucking Harry Potter is. He's an INFJ. Congratulations. Woohoo. You know, INFJ hero. Woo, INFJ hero. I always tell people look for your INFJ hero and look for your INTJ villain. Woo. All right, PC, what are you thinking?
Um, he gives me Patterson vibes.
Patterson. Who the fuck is Patterson?
Um, the guy from the Twilight series.
Twilight. Oh, Twilight. I've never seen that series, but I'm sure like there's a lot
Do
of
you know what
people.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, the vampire guy.
That's the latest version of Batman or some shit. Um,
Heard
yeah,
about
he reminds me of him just from the way that they carry themselves.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. Could be NTJ. I don't know.
Hey, we'll figure it out today, man. Yes. We're gonna hold
But
PC.
I guess we'll find out through the metrics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
man.
you guys know we're gonna hold PC feet to the fire. We're going to ask PC, what do you think he's gonna be going in? You gotta go out there, man. You gotta be a guy who's willing to bet it all and say what you think he is. You know, big cojones out. Uh,
Let's. I,
they
I
got
reckon.
ENFP
I reckon
personality
he's
database.
probably going to come out as a. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe INTJ,
INTJ. Okay, PC's going in with
but he could
INTJ.
be.
All right, so personality dummy
See,
base.
oh, there it is. Robert Pattinson. That's the. See, just over Robert Pattinson. That's the guy he reminds me of.
All right, I'm gonna go and click on Rob Patterson here. They got him as INFP. That's crazy.
Okay. Okay.
That's crazy, but they got Daniel Radcliffe as ENFP, guys. So one day I'm telling you in the future, me and PC are just going to go through personality database and type in famous people and just watch the comments and break them down and give our perspective of how like lost these people are. Because I call them dummy base, and we got to break down why they call dummy base, man. Personality dummy base. All right, so they got him as ENFP. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. ENFP is not bad. Okay, so PC. ENFPs are informing, they're initiating, they're progression, they are abstract guys, they're motive based, right? Guys, these guys are TEFI, SINE, they're also affiliative. That's the big thing, they're affiliative. So they're all about trying to figure out the right way to do things. instead of like, being pragmatic, all about the results. Okay. That's a big thing between the ENFP and ENTP. One is focused on doing what works. The other one's focused on like the overall good of the community. Coming together. As David Kersey says, cooperation. Um, while the ENTP is about utilitarian. I feel like we're gonna be coming down to those two types. All right. And comment below what you think his
Okay.
personality type is. And I'm telling you, if we don't get 30 likes, man, it's gonna be OJ Simpson. Y'all just fucking book it up. We all gonna be in the Bronco together, okay? Go Juice go.
Good to see you, man. How are you? Good, thank you very much.
Nice to see you, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, mate.
How are
It's
things?
very good to be here. Very good. You know, in the middle of this kind of crazy press tour, but it's all good.
You know, if you get used to promoting a certain kind of film for any length of time, then to have to get into and talk about a completely different kind of film.
Yeah.
Is it a learning curve for you?
No, it's actually great. It's kind of really good fun to be talking about something that's not Harry Potter is quite refreshing.
But dude, you went the other way, man, because this film. So I would like to think of myself as a professional scary movie watcher. It's sort of it's how I go to sleep to the soundtrack of The Exorcist.
Wow.
There were a couple of times.
Tubular Bells is kind of awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
It also explains why I sleep alone. But in this moment, man, there were some real creep out scenes in here. I was like, oh, this is a scary film.
There are. I mean, as I was saying to you before, James Watkins, our director, is a real. You know, I don't want to imply that he would ever be limited to the genre of horror, but he's incredibly good at it and really understands it and knows how to scare people, knows how to freak people out.
Were you into that stuff?
Not the kind of more modern, kind of slightly gratuitous horror. I mean, I think The Shining is one of the scariest movies ever made. Yeah. Oh, good, yeah, good. You know, The Shining, the original Straw Dogs, I haven't seen the new one, but I did think it looks very good. Yeah. Yeah, stuff like that. Not so much Scream or you know, any of the Saw movies. I couldn't watch them. Like, that would just terrify me. Of course, you're gonna, but like, you can't show people those graphic images and not expect them to be anything but upset and disturbed.
Right.
Like, that seems a little, seems a little...
Well, because in those movies, there's no real reason for hope, right?
We talk about the SI experience you get from watching the Saw movies, but whatever. I just say anybody would say that, but I would say SI there, but
You mentioned The Shining. Kubrick had this great line about ghost stories.
Oh, yeah.
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 The idea of ghost stories is that it means there's an afterlife.
Yes,
So
they're all inherently consoling, I think was what he said. Yeah, that was one of the things we first talked about, James and I, when we met to discuss Woman in Black, was the fact that there is, you know, because my first question to him was, okay, so Arthur goes to this house. The moment you open the door, you know he should leave. I mean, it is a haunted house. From the moment you get there, you can tell that. So I said to James, you know, why does he stay? And what James said was kind of brilliant, was that, you know, here's a man who has lost his wife. He finds himself in this house where he starts seeing what he thinks is the ghost of a dead woman. You know, curiosity would keep him there, because if he can confirm that this is a ghost that he's seeing, then there is an afterlife and he will one day be with his wife again. So yeah, it's a story about this film. Really, it is a scary film, and it's you know, you will jump and you will scream. It does all that very, very well. But it's also a film about what happens to us if we fail to move on from a loss. You know, Arthur, my character, has not moved on from his wife's death, and so has just become completely detached from the world and kind of entered a state of emotional paralysis. He can't, you know, he's not a participant in his own life.
How are you at that? How are you at that, dealing with loss?
Touch wood, I haven't had to deal with a huge amount of it. I mean, I lost my grandmother a couple of years ago, which was obviously sad, but I was mainly sad for my dad.
That's the interesting thing when you lose a grandparent.
I was mainly sad for my dad. That's FE, right?
FE, yeah.
I was mainly sad for my dad. The way this guy's speeding and talking at a sane clip, I would say this is a form of initiating, but let's keep going, guys.
Really, your time to grieve is later, right?
Yeah, and because you just see your parent suddenly, you know, yeah, it's a very bizarre thing. Seeing your parent lose one of theirs is very, very strange. And then the Woman in Black has not moved on from a wrong that was done to her in her life, and has carried that hatred and that anger with her into the afterlife, where she is trying to wreak her revenge. So yes, it's quite a good film.
I'm not sure it's as commonplace as we used to hear about, certainly through the 80s, but people who get a lot of profile when they're young, you hear an awful lot about the flame-out stories at the end.
Right, yeah.
Were you well insulated?
Yeah, I mean, I've had great people around me. You know, I've had my mum and dad.
And they're both pros. They both worked in this business, right?
Yeah, you know, my mum was a casting director and my dad was a literary agent. So, you know, she never cast anything I was in. I feel I have to say that. You know, my dad was, as I said, a literary agent, which is amazing because now, you know, we've got these scripts coming in and I have my dad who was kind of famous when he was an agent.
This type of speed when you hear speaking is usually in form of initiating. Like a fucking machine gun, bro.
The part where he's talking about what his mum was doing, I'm like, he didn't. Yeah, it's like he didn't need to give that extra information. He just yeah.
Yeah.
For being really great with new writing. You know, I've got him as free script development, so that's, you know, that's kind of awesome. But yeah, so I had good people around me. You know, I think possibly because I was on set every day, I was the only one who was on set every day out of the cast on Potter. And the only other people that are there every day is the crew, so they were the people that I became very, very close with, right. And I think that gives you a healthy amount of humility. I think because you see how the crew talk about actors that they don't like, and you go, I don't want to be talked about like that. So yeah, I think that was probably quite informative.
What do you do at a certain point when, because you're so lucky enough to work around people who really have a good idea of how to protect you or where your career could go, when you're too young to really make those choices on your own? Now you get into your 20s. You have quite a bit of experience, and so eventually you're going to start to take your own lead in your career in a way, right?
Well, I mean, I think it started kind of with Equus, was the time that that was something I wanted to do.
You have to have a certain amount of confidence, dude, to be naked around a horse. Because,
well...
For obvious reasons, right?
Yeah, you certainly do. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the horses in our play were were men. Yeah. Not horses. That would have been bad. Kind of, would have had to blind 6 of them a night, so we would have got through them. Yeah, no, I mean, I think doing Equus was a real, you know, that was a. Looking back, I didn't know how important that was at the time, I don't think, but looking back, that's been incredibly important to me in my career and in terms of making people sit up and go, oh, he's not, you know, he's not content to rest on his laurels, he wants to do something else, he wants to take risks and challenge himself, you know, because that's kind of what I'm all about. If I don't have a certain amount of fear going into a project, then I probably won't be very good. I need to feel... you know, that there is a genuine risk of failure for me to, I don't know, it motivates me.
But does that apply beyond your career? Does that apply in your life as well?
I don't know. It's very hard for me to draw a distinction between those two things. I mean, having worked for so long. Yeah, I mean, I think in my life, I'm actually, like, kind of, despite the appearance of hyperactivity and excitableness that I have, I'm actually I'm kind of the most laid-back person. Like, nothing really affects me.
Really?
Like, yeah, I mean, I don't get particularly, like, worried or angry. Like, in my personal life, I'm very, very chilled. Professionally, I worry.
2:30 in the morning, you're in a public place, there's alcohol flowing around, in a bar, you're probably hanging with your friends, and some guy goes, "Potter!" You don't know, you don't get angry then?
No, you don't get angry. The only time it becomes relatively irritating is when people are drunk and obnoxious and think they're really funny. But it's not the fact that they think they're funny, because that's fine. They are funny to their friends. That's fine. But like, they can't expect me to still laugh. That's the thing. Like, they look at me like I am something rude for not laughing at their joke, and it's like, dude, I've been hearing those jokes for 10 years. I can't fake laughing for you. Right. I don't know. I wouldn't do that with my friends. I'm certainly not going to do it for you, drunk stranger.
But maybe that's a sign that you're open to them, that you treat them like you do to your friends.
Well, maybe. I mean, you know, I think you have to. I think when you're in a big franchise and you're very well known and you've done very well financially out of it, it's time to kind of kick back and have a sense of humor about yourself. Right. Like, you're gonna, people are gonna, people are gonna find it funny to call you out and stuff in the street.
There was a moment, man, when because I watched the films you've done, liked the choices, heard about Equus, liked all that, then saw this, and this took you to the next level. Look at this clip here.
Thanks for covering my arse earlier. The offer still stands.
What offer?
Yeah.
Just gonna go and get a drink. Does anybody want anything?
I'll have a cup of tea.
Yeah, get me a bourbon, would you, babe? When she comes back, right, make some excuse and leave us alone, will you?
What you got planned? You unravelled it.
Ready for action. Let's just hope it's big enough.
I feel that's pretty funny.
Doesn't get much better.
That's one of the greatest comedy series of all time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I still get people coming up to me now. It's like 5 years later now, going, "Loved you on Extras." Right. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It's the only club I've ever said yes to without reading the script. Ricky got in contact with me and said, you know, I want you to play sort of a warped version of what people think you are. And that, for me, was incredibly appealing because I do, you know, whenever particularly at that age, whenever I walked into a room, I assumed people were expecting me to be very unpleasant. And so you kind of, to constantly feel that you're coming up against that perception and then to have somebody offer you the chance to send that up completely was awesome. I mean, yeah.
Did you have anxiety and fear going into that comedic situation?
Sounds very SI, his experience in any, you know, got to do something new. Woohoo. Got to do something new, you know. Yeah, I think let's go ahead and knock off initiating and forming PC. Forming, initiating. So personality database is still in the hunt. We can't even see that. They're still in the hunt here, ladies and gentlemen. So basically killed everything but ESFP. No, ESFP is dead. ESFJ is still alive. ENTP and ENFP. Yeah, so if you're falling at home, ladies and gentlemen, remember, if I don't get 30 fucking likes, you guys are gonna you guys are gonna know everything about OJ Simpson. I'm not even kidding. You're gonna be so sick of OJ. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna tattoo OJ fucking on your fucking forehead. All right, so guys, we're down to ESFJ, ENTP, and ENFP.
No, not at all. No, actually, I didn't. No, maybe I should have. I think I didn't at all. But it's like, I look back at Equus. I did that when I was 17. I don't know how I did that. Like, I don't know. That is, I mean, you know, looking back, I go, Christ, that does take guts. Like, it does. I don't know if I could do it now. My God. I mean, it was, yeah. I think that I've always, in my life, kind of baptism by fire has always been a very good way of doing stuff for me. Like, I mean, Equus, in terms of a first play, is quite a tough first play, and there's a lot to learn as you're going along. But yeah, so it's I don't know. And working with Ricky Gervais, you kind of can't ask for anybody bettering.
Woman in Black is not easy too because horror is a lot like comedy in that the timing needs to be really bang on.
Right.
Are you very secure about your ability to perform in any of these situations?
Yes, I don't really take it. I think because I don't really think of it by genre. You just take it by character and by the part, and that's kind of it becomes an easier way to start. Yeah, I mean, I think actually what's interesting is that in comedy, I think the timing is more down to the actors, whereas in horror, it's kind of more down to the director, and it's more down and the editor and the music and all that. So it's less. I think the timing of things is less my responsibility in this film.
It was very poetic at times, and I know that poetry is a big part of your story too, right?
Yes.
Who's that, PC? PC, you say anything?
Yes, people seem to be becoming aware of that very recently. Yeah.
Because it's a different way to say what you're thinking or what you're observing. What does it allow you to do that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do?
I think as an actor, you know, you do create. You are creative in the way that you are, you know, responsible for creating a character and embodying that character. But you.
What's up, PC? Damn, PC, I think you're frozen, bro.
You can't create a world. You know, you can't create a whole. And I love the challenge of poetry. Like, I love rhyme and meter and form and all those things are very. I think that it's like a mental exercise, which I really enjoy, but at the same time, it's allowing me to get stuff out. I haven't actually written a good poem in, I mean, about a year or so, but you know, I'll get back to it.
Your grandmother passed, right? Did you write one?
I did. How did you know that? I've obviously said that at some point.
Now, who knows you said? Maybe I just found that out.
Maybe you're just an incredible researcher. You're like the Woodward and Bernstein of Canadian television.
But that's a very personal subject to write about.
Yeah, I mean, I write on all kinds of things. You know, relationships, stuff I found funny throughout the day, space. You know, anything. I like, you know.
So I really don't like the metric initiating, but like he's doing it so much that it's ridiculous to the point to where
Yeah, he
like
is.
we
Yeah, it
have to
is.
go ahead and say like he's initiating, but we've already said initiating for him. So guys, what we're really looking for is he an ENFP, is ESTJ, ENTP. We're looking at that.
Space I find fascinating and
We're
amazing.
gonna
Yeah,
explore
well,
that. Stick
but
around.
just
Anthropology
before,
with
I don't know
Daniel, and we were.
if I was bugged out or not.
Huh? You said?
Uh, I was just saying, I don't know if I was bugged out before, but I was saying he was using a lot of TI just before.
Yeah, he was. Where he was. Yeah, a lot of TI. I mean, everything seems to be, his thoughts, what he thinks
Exactly.
about something.
He's not referencing someone else for shit. He's like, no,
Yeah. So, guys, if you guys aren't
these are
aware,
my thoughts
if you,
on this thing. So yeah.
like, if you guys aren't aware, TE users tend to like to reference outside sources. It gives them more of a sense of confidence with their thinking. That's what I would say. So you'll see more of them going to the books, a site, what they heard, and it depends on the person itself. Um, so generally speaking, like if you got like an ESFP or something, they may like reference like a blog spot or like some shit they heard or whatever. But the higher up the TE, the usually the better and the cleaner it is. So like a lot of times, I think the best TE users when it comes to sourcing is usually your TE parents, and that's because due to the fact that they're introverted, they literally take their time more with their sourcing. So you'll see them more likely to have like double placebo blind studies, right? That's usually like the gold standard for like studies or whatnot. Or you will see them like reference only the best sources, right? And then as you get like lesser and lesser in TE, you'll see people like drop off. Um, yeah, yeah. So it's important to notice that he seems to be referencing his own thoughts, and that's amazing. Like, it's amazing to reference your own thoughts, but there's also challenges that come with that as well. Because the simple fact is that a lot of things seems as though they make sense, but they actually aren't don't actually make sense, right? People have been fooled several times, like you can make sense of the earth being the center of the universe, right? But that's not actually true. So you also got to verify with the sources.
Yeah.
I think you can't just do one type of thinking. You kind of have to do both, but we all have a preference for one
Well,
over the other.
yeah.
Yes, PC.
But I was just to say you are right about that, but the opposite is also true in the fact that at one point, like the world being the fucking center of the universe was essentially TE at one point in fucking time. So both TI and TE are flawed.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as you were saying, there is different levels of that shit. So basically, to be a decent, you kind of be you integrating both.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
if you're going all in on one, then you're going to have issues.
You're gonna have issues. Yeah. You're going all in, you're gonna have issues. To be a clear, critical thinker, you need to be able to do both. And if you can't do both, a lot of times you're gonna get exposed. It's like our channel is full of NTs, right? So we're pretty strong on people with thinking and whatnot. But if you see the NTs, they literally get exposed on feelings all the time because they usually have one side of feeling and not the other side of feeling. So they struggle like in relationships or the relationship dynamic hardcore because they only got one side of it. And that just shows you just how bad it is. Like yeah, we kind of scoff off our nose and look down on everybody else because we got both thinking functions and we care about thinking a lot. But like when you look at us from a relationship point of view, we usually have like maybe one and then the other one is like fucking abysmal. And you can see like the NTs just like really struggling with relationships, whether they're getting divorced a lot, having those terrible relationship with their kids and whatnot, it's important, man. But let's go.
Turn, and we'll find out actually if he had to choose between his movie and a Super Bowl.
And it was just,
Yeah.
Harry Potter! Welcome back
To us and including us in their process.
A few years ago, you were supporting Clegg's Liberal Democrats, and I think it's interesting when an actor or any artist finds their political voice. How would you counsel young performers to find their political voice?
You know, I'm not a member of the Liberal Democrats. Yeah. I'm you know, free swinging in that sense.
He just means he has unlimited options.
Exactly.
Political.
You know, but I don't know. I mean, I think you just have to. I think you have to be very careful. I think you have to. You know, I don't think you have to. I think if you're going to voice an opinion, I certainly don't think that you should think.
Need them options, any.
That your opinion.
I just said that was very any
because you're an actor.
Yeah. He's like, he doesn't want to be pinned into one fucking option.
Yeah. That's NI opposing there. NI opposing with the ENTP. They do not want to be like fear. Death to them is like being stuck into one fucking thing for the rest of their life. Like they literally hate that. Like whether it be they want to be able to explore with their hero function, which is extroverted intuition, which is exploring the possibilities. So being stuck in one thing for the rest of their life is fucking hell. And my direct reference from that is Henley himself.
It's not. You know, I am no more informed than anybody else who watches a lot of news and is interested in current affairs. But, you know, I think when actors start to annoy people is when they start kind of preaching. So never do that. But just, yeah, I think you've just got to be... I think as little... One thing I've learned over the last kind of year and a half is that the smaller the difference between the public perception of you and your actual self, the better. Because that means I can come and do an interview like this and not feel like I'm hiding stuff, not feel I have to be aware of stuff, not feel, you know, and I can kind of be as natural as it's possible to be.
So, I mean, are you comfortable just naturally talking about the fact that you play fantasy football? Is that true?
Yes. That is. I'm extremely comfortable talking about that.
Are you one of the crazy fantasy football guys in a draft?
We didn't do a draft this year because it was my first year. We're going to do it next year because I'm very excited about that.
But your movie opens on Super Bowl weekend.
I know.
And your favorite team is in the Super Bowl.
My favorite team is in the Super Bowl, the Giants. Yeah.
No Giants love here. Easy, all right.
So I'm very excited for them. I will be watching them. I will be. I'm a huge. You know, I love Eli Manning. Victor Cruz this year was on my fantasy team, so I did very, very well with him. I didn't do so well overall in the league, but he did brilliantly for me. So yeah, I'm a huge football fan now. I
went and watched The Artist last night. It's a beautiful film.
I'm sure I haven't seen it.
What was neat about it was in the background, the stars would be sort of hiding in the back watching the film. Not in a premiere setting, but as the audience watched. And I wondered, have you ever had that opportunity just to sneak into one of your films or and just watch it?
I don't know that I have. No, I mean, one of my favourite things to do always is, if I'm at a premiere, just to kind of pick someone and watch them, particularly if I know that there's a jump coming up or whatever, you know, that's quite fun to do. But no, I've never had that. I don't like watching myself at the best of times, so I certainly wouldn't if I didn't have to.
Right. It's a good place to be.
All right, guys. So I think we've lost PC along the way here. Damn, PC, what's going on here? So Daniel Radcliffe is actually an ENTP, guys. He's an ENTP. ENTP, ladies and gentlemen. So he's the key takeaways from this guy is like some ENTPs can be like super informing, super initiating, right? They could just like a machine gun, and that's usually like the not ENTPs, the easy starters to type. Like you can't really miss them because of the fact that they're just like a machine gun when they talk. But yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is an ENTP. These actors seem to like all be ENTPs. I mean, it's amazing. I think for ENTPs, because of the fact of NE and FE, it allows them to be somebody they're not, right? Because they don't have a real sense of identity for themselves, usually, generally speaking. So they can kind of wear a mask for whatever role they need to play, and that comes out amazing on the films. And that's the reason why these guys just continue to just outright dominate when it comes to acting roles or whatnot. You see these guys absolutely dominate, and that's because of the NE in the FI tricks there. Like they're able to just wear a mask and become whoever they need to become. And trying something new is fun for them. You know, exploring the possibilities and exploring ideas. That's essentially what acting is. You're exploring ideas and becoming a person for a set period of time, and that's fun to them. And then they get to see, people enjoy what they do. So it's like a double win for these guys. When I'm looking at this guy here, when I'm thinking subtype, I'm thinking, um, thinking, do 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 do. When it comes to subtype here, this guy's clearly not dominant subtype, right? That's a no-no. I don't think he's harmonizing as well. So you really only have two types here. You have the creative and the normalizing. And I would probably say that this guy is in C or CN, so creative slash normalizing. And ooh, probably yeah, let's go CN. I'm gonna go CN. Um, and it's just because this guy seems to be he's in a creative space in a creative sphere. So that's gonna amplify his subtype, right? Generally speaking, that's where you will see a lot of the creatives at, acting, music, all this other shit. But he's also able to pan in with society pretty damn good as well, and that's the reason why I say he's CN, kind of like expiring to his normalizing. He's able to get that done. When it comes to Enneagram here, guys, I'm going to say that I don't see this is weird. Well, I don't think it's this guy's withdrawing, so we could kill. He's not a withdrawing type, so we can kill 2, 5, and 9. So 2, 5, 9 are dead. Um, I don't think this guy is a 3, right? So we can kill 3. So we got 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, and 9 are dead. This guy's not a 2 as well. This guy's not a 1 as well. So what we're looking at here is, and he's not an 8, so we're either looking at a 6 or a 7 with his Enneagram. And I'm going to roll with 6W7, and I'm gonna roll with SP slash SL. Damn, PC, you piece of shit. Um,
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened with my fucking internet, bro.
yeah, I got him down, man. ENTP 6W7 SPSO.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I
because I'm not really seeing that assertive from him, right? The assertive types are 3, 5, and no 3, 7, and 8. Those are the assertive types. I'm not getting overall. I mean, you could. It's dicey, guys. It's dicey. I mean, maybe somebody could make a case that he's assertive, but I'm making a case that maybe he's compliant, maybe. So like I said, he's either 6 or 7, and I'm gonna roll with 6W7 SP slash SO. That's what I'm gonna roll with um, for him. And PC, I got him for creative slash normalizing. I think because he's in the creative space,
yeah,
but
dude,
you see,
he's basically Henley. Dude, I fucking knew the moment he started fucking laughing at his own awkwardness, I was just like, this motherfucker is Henley. It's like, yeah,
but you guys know I love Henley. That's my bro, man. That's my guy, man. That's my guy. So
like no
roll
wonder you wanted to do this, dude.
this guy. I don't love Henley that much, man. So roll to demigod, guys. I think he's above average ENTP. Because he's got his shit together, man. Like ENTPs really struggle with just doing the mundane things. But I think he's okay with doing that. That becomes part of acting. Um, at the big sense, and he's taking care of the stuff because the thing with ENTPs is they can run in trouble of not taking care of things that they should take care of, and then they get behind on those things, and then they have to become a shitty person to get by in life, and they end up taking advantage of people because they can outwit people very quickly. And you don't see that with this guy. He seems to have like all of it together. Like I said, he's an upstanding ENTP. He gets a thumbs up from me. Um, but yeah, yeah. Um, that was interesting, guys. We got Daniel Radcliffe as an ENTP. Like I said, if we don't get 30 fucking likes on this video, this will become OJ Simpson. We will be breaking down that fucking court case. I am not bullshitting you. Me and PC will be, you guys are gonna doom PC. Don't do it to PC. You guys, if you like PC, please give this video 30 likes. He does not want to know what OJ Simpson's.
We'll find out. We'll find out, man.
He does not want to know what OJ Simpson's social security number is. He does not want to know OJ Simpson's mother. He does not want to know all of OJ Simpson's kids. So if you
Gosh.
want to save PC, please, please, please get this video to 30 likes. If not, you guys are gonna know OJ Simpson, the juice. Go, juice, go, juice. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tattoo that shit on you motherfuckers' forehead. Anything you want to say before you head out here, PC?
No, that's good.
All right, guys. Well, this is Mongolian Mindset, guys, and we are out. Peace.